was doing my class on Monday and somebody said, you stopped the video and you forgot to start it again. All right, so I need brass, bronze, nickel. You'll want to soak in the pickle and peroxide and get rid of that pink fire stain before you roll it down. Because if you don't, you may end up rolling that stain into the metal. This piece, I should scrub this before I roll it down, but I'm not going to since it's just a demo piece. But this is annealed. The main purpose of rolling metal down is to make it thinner. And so these two steel rollers we will be using for that. These rollers are for rolling wire down, which we never do. We have other ways to make wire thinner that's easier. The handle on top of the mill will, that's clockwise, opens the space between the rollers. Counterclockwise closes the space between the rollers. I forgot to get paper towels. Before and after each person uses the mill, you want to clean the rollers with oil. If there's anything on those rollers, when you roll your metal through, it might impress on your metal. So just squirt some oil on the paper towels and wipe the rollers down. Now, what I do, we have the start and stop buttons here. It's Power Mill. It's lovely. Right now it's set on inch. If it's set on forward, it will run continuously. And then you have to press stop. So for cleaning, setting it on inch is good. Because then I can just move it an inch at a time. And notice I make sure I take my hands and the paper towels away while it's moving. Until I clean all the way around. Okay, the other thing you want to have with you when you roll your metal down is the B and S gauge. B and S stands for brown and sharp. One side of the gauge has decimals on it. This is going to be a really good video. The other side has regular numbers on it. We use the side with regular numbers. It's marked 0 to 36, 0 being really thick metal. I don't think you'll ever work with anything that thick. And 36 is like foil. This should be about 18 or 20 gauge. So, oh, actually, it's a little thicker. There it goes, 18. So I slide it into the slot next to 18. It went in easily, so that tells me I think it's 18. The next slot says 19. It will not go into that slot at all. And you don't ever want to have to force the metal into a slot. So this is definitely 18. And I want to have this with me as I roll it down so I can keep track of the gauge that it's at. So the first thing I do is adjust these rollers. Just a little bit, closing it down a little bit at a time so I can't push the metal through. Then I'm going to turn the mill on, take it off inch, put it on forward, turn the mill on and just let it take my metal through. Don't fall to the back, turn the mill off. Reach around, grab your metal. And then you can close the rollers down a quarter turn. Turn it on, feed the metal in, let it roll through. Turn it off, grab your metal from behind. This is starting to curve. So that's telling me that my metal's starting to work harden. Each of your metals work hardens at a different rate, some faster than others. I think this is bronze. I think maybe one more roll out of this and then I will have to anneal it. I'm working with steel on my metal. Work hardens very quickly. I've got a nice wave in here, so that tells me definitely stop and anneal this piece before I continue rolling. Let me see if I got it down. Probably not even a gauge, I would think. Still won't go into 19. So, it's really tight. I don't even want to, I would have to force it in, which I don't want to do. So it's definitely looser in 18. I did get it a little thinner, but it won't go into 19 yet. So anneal, pickle, clean, thoroughly dry, and then come back and keep rolling until you get to whatever gauge you want. You'll probably have to stop and anneal in between more than once or twice. Okay, when you're done, clean the rollers again, and then proceed to whatever it is you want to do. You'll want to roll down pieces of metal before you cut out pieces for your designs. If you roll down pieces that you've already cut out, they'll get deformed, which could be interesting, but if that's not what you want, then make sure you roll your metal down in sheet form and then cut your shapes for your designs. Okay, that's it for rolling metal down thinner. We will not use this mill for texturing because texture.
If you have a smaller piece of that, like something that you can fit in your palm, could you still fit it through the?
Mm-hmm.
How would you do that?
Do I have a small piece of metal? Small piece, I'll cut it in half. I think this is a needle. Okay, so that's small?
Yeah.
All right, turn it on. Oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna check to see, this is probably open too wide. A little bit, this is a thinner gauge. Okay, that's good. Very carefully.
Just saying, I don't know if it was like a special weighting or something.
Just keep your fingers out of the way. I don't think your fingers could get in there, but, oh, no, I can't find the piece.
I don't think it.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. Maybe on the back of the roller thing, like on the back side of it.
There is a piece of steel that is a shelf that should be behind you. Oh, wait a minute, there it is. It is there, and that's where it was. So it did roll down. I could see that it changed, stretched it. Oh, the other thing about the mill is, this is too wide to go this way, but if it wasn't, you don't want to do that. You always want to roll in the same direction. Like I could roll this way and this way, but if this was wide enough to go this way, I would not want to do that. You're stretching the molecules in two different directions, and the metal is not going to be happy about that. So you may run into problems down the road when you are forming or whatever.